Here are today's top stories. A man claiming to be the face of the Bicoy videos appears to prove his allegations against President Duterte. A magnitude 5.4 quake rocks Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte, and neighboring towns. The MMDA suspends the dry run of the ban on provincial buses in EDSA. And the Magnolia Hotshots take the lead in the PBA Philippine Cup Finals.
Good day, I'm Rom Dulfo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story, the alleged man behind the Bicoy videos reveals himself, claiming there are threats to his life. Peter Jomel Advincula, who identified himself as Bicoy, surfaced this afternoon, saying there are threats to his life and is seeking legal assistance. He says he is ready to face a Senate probe to prove his allegations in the video serie. The video serie tags presidential son Paulo Duterte, former presidential aide Bongo, and lawyer Manasseh Carpio in the illegal drug trade. However, investigators are still looking into possibility that Rodel Jaime, the website creator that shared Ang Totoong Narco List, is behind Bicoy. Earlier, Jaime said he is willing to testify against those behind the videos. Meantime, Malacanang says they will leave it up to the authorities and will wait for an update on the case. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo says those behind the videos failed to prove the tattoos at the back of Bongo, which means they are just lying and resorted to the series of Bicoy videos as black propaganda against the administration. A 5.4 magnitude earthquake jolted Ilocos Norte and nearby provinces this morning. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, traced the quake's epicenter 11 kilometers northwest of Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte. A strong intensity 5 was felt in Pasukin, Bacara, and Lawag City, and in Tuguegarao City, Cagayan. Intensity 4 was felt in Paway, Ilocos Norte, and intensity 3 was recorded in Sinait and Santa, Ilocos Sur, and in Sudipen, La Union. Intensity 2 was reported in Baguio City. Prior to the quake in Ilocos Norte, a magnitude 4.3 earthquake rocked Marihatag, Surigao del Sur Sunday morning. The epicenter was found about 71 kilometers east of Marihatag. The quake was tectonic in nature and did not cause any damage. Meanwhile, a series of earth aftershocks hit Rizal, Occidental Mindoro. 18 aftershocks followed the magnitude 5.5 earthquake that was felt a day earlier. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology said the tremors were weak and would not cause damage, although more aftershocks may be expected. The quakes were also felt in Calapan, Oriental Mindoro, El Nido in Palawan, Tagaytay City, Lipa City in Batangas, Talisay, and several parts of Quezon Province. In other news, the Philippines joins the rest of the world in welcoming the start of the Muslim month of Ramadan. In his Ramadan message, President Duterte enjoined all Filipinos to uplift each other's lives regardless of religion, culture, and political belief. The president hopes that the occasion would remind everyone of the values of sacrifice, patience, humility, and obedience to the teachings of the Holy Quran. The president also urged Filipinos to offer prayers for peace, solidarity, and understanding among people and all of humanity. Meanwhile, the Department of National Defense expressed hope for a peaceful month of fasting for Muslim Filipinos. The AFP also offered to pray for peace in Mindanao. The Ramadan commemorated the time when Prophet Muhammad received the first revelations of the Quran. During Ramadan, Muslims abstain from eating and drinking during daylight hours. President Duterte mourned the death of former House Speaker Prospero Nograles, who passed away on May 4. The president said he was deeply saddened to hear of his demise. He described Nograles as a leader who spoke on behalf of the Filipinos. Nograles died at the age of 71 after succumbing to respiratory failure secondary to pneumonia. He served in the 1st District of Davao City from 1989 to 1992, in 1995, and from 2001 to 2010. He was elected House Speaker during the term of former President and now House Speaker Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Nograles was a political rival of then-Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. However, the late Speaker ended the political rivalry and supported Duterte's presidential bid in 2016. The COMELEC is ironing out preparations of the vote-counting machines for the midterm elections, and the DENR vows to protect the country's marine biodiversity. More on these and other news around the metro from Janice Cave.
The Commission on Elections started today the final testing and sealing of the 85,000 vote counting machines to be used in the May 13 midterm polls. The testing will be held until May 12 to determine if the machines can correctly count. COMELEC spokesperson James Jimenez said, aside from testing the machines, the procedure will also test the transmission system. The poll body will be using again the VCMs that were first utilized in the 2016 elections. Meanwhile, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources vows to comply with the Supreme Court's writ of kalikasan to protect marine biodiversity. The writ of kalikasan was issued as fishermen in Palawan and Zambales urged the government to protect the country's exclusive economic zone. In other news, an election hotline was launched last Sunday by the Quezon City Public School Teachers Association. The hotline will serve as safeguard for teachers and those serving in the Electoral Board of Canvassers from harassment and other threats. The group appealed to supporters of candidates to be patient with the counting and transport of election returns. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Still to come, the MMDA suspends the dry run of ban on provincial buses in EDSA. A Japanese NGO pledges housing units for displaced residents of Marawi City. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa pagdiriwang ng Month of the Ocean ngayong buwan ng Mayo, samahan ninyo akong makilahok sa Coastal Cleanup Operations sa pangunguna ng DENR National Capital Region dito sa Barangay Tanza, Navotas City. Tara na!
Nag-start itong Month of the Ocean na ito na since 1998. So,
More than 20 years
more
na.
than 20 years. Until now, every year ay ginagawa pa rin natin.
Okay. Bakit natin napili itong lugar na ito? So, alam ko, napakalaking isla nito, napakalawak.
Isa ito sa mga conservation sites natin dito sa Metro Manila.
Ngayong araw na to meron tayong mahigit 50 na volunteers, di po ba, sir?
Yes, oo.
Sino ang mga na-involve ngayon?
Yung Barangay Tanza 2, the LGU of Navotas. Sa ngayon, nandito rin yung Philippine Army, Philippine Navy, ano?
At ang ating kapulisan.
Ang ating mga kapulisan, yes.
So, yeah, marami pong agencies ng government ang sumasali.
Yes, oo, maraming sumasali dito actually. May mga government agencies na nagre-request sila para mag-conduct ng coastal
Yung mga
cleanup
opisina.
dito. Yes. Oo.
Okay.
Yung DNR-NCR ay nagko-conduct ng regular cleanup dito. Ang local government of Navotas, yung lalong-lalo na yung Barangay Tanza ay every week din nagko-conduct din sila ng cleanup dito. Mahalaga talagang ma-involve ang mga community dito, lalong-lalo na within the coastal area. In this case, itong Barangay Tanza. Dahil sila ang frontline dito. Sila ang unang maapektuhan dito ng marine pollution. Marine at of course, yung mga solid waste pollution natin.
So hindi ito trabaho lang ng gobyerno, hindi ito trabaho lang ng DENR, kundi trabaho ito ng buong komunidad,
Yes.
ng buong sambayanan. So tingin natin kailangan mas maraming tao ang ma-involve.
The MMDA has suspended the dry run of the provincial bus ban along EDSA. MMDA General Manager Jojo Garcia says the provincial bus ban was temporarily suspended pending a meeting with the DOTR and LTFRB to iron out the guidelines and implementing rules. MMDA EDSA Traffic Head Bong Nebrija said the bus ban will likely resume after elections, but they will still strictly enforce the no loading and unloading along EDSA. The military showed proof that the reports of purging in the CPP-NPA is real and not propaganda. Here's our report.
The National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict proves that the death of about 9,000 victims are committed by their own comrades in the NPA. According to Major General Antonio Parlade Jr., The killings in the 1980s is an admission contained in the CPP anniversary statements posted in their website. It cited how suspicion of enemy infiltration led to the prejudgment, torture, and murder of thousands of suspects, including party comrades, Red Fighters, mass activists, and other people. The NPA is also believed to have launched bloody internal purges where thousands were reported to have been brutally tortured, summarily executed, and buried in shallow graves. Parlade challenged the National Union of People's Lawyers, or NUPL, to defend the families of the victims. The NUPL is accused of being a legal front of the CPP-NPA that condones the terrorist activities of the movement. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
Major General Antonio Parlade Jr. on Friday said the military is in the best position to secure the lawyers of the National Union of People's Lawyers, or NUPL, from its comrades. Parlade said the military intends to protect militant lawyers from the communist rebels who attack their own kind and then blame the government. He cited the case of the late priest Father Conrado Balueg, who exposed the plan to attack communities while dressed as a government soldier. He also reminded the NUPL how its comrades bombed Plaza Miranda in 1971, attacked the Hacienda Luisita rallyists in 2004, and circumvent the law to protect the communist agenda. Parlade said he and 6 other respondents will comment on the NUPL petition before the May 8 deadline set by the Supreme Court. The Manila International Container Port, or MICP, reached its collection target for April 2019. Based on preliminary data, the MICP collected a total of 13.8 billion pesos last month against its 13.6 billion target, or 14% higher as compared to the collection during the same period last year. The MICP was among the 12 collection districts that were able to hit their respective targets last month. District Collector Attorney Erastus Andino Austria attributes the positive collection to the men and women of MICP and the various policies, systems, and programs they initiated. He also acknowledged the port's stakeholders, partners, and International Container Terminal Services Incorporated for working closely with MICP on its policies and programs. A non-government organization based in Japan pledged prefabricated housing units for Marawi residents. Meanwhile, the military takes custody of a teenage member of the New People's Army. More on this and other stories from the provinces from Janice Cave.
In Marawi City, about 24,000 prefabricated housing units worth 4 to 6 million pesos each is pledged by a Japanese NGO, Japan Satsuma Russian Exchange Council for Internally Displaced Residents. Each unit has a minimum land area of 150 square meters. The project has been submitted to Malacanang for approval. Aside from the housing project, the NGO also offers Japan work visas for qualified residents. In Negros Occidental, a 13-year-old fighter of the New People's Army was captured by the soldiers of the 62nd Infantry Battalion after an encounter with rebels on May 4. The boy was turned over to the Himamaylan City Police Station and endorsed to the Department of Social Welfare and Development afterwards. In other news, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao will soon benefit from the agricultural projects spearheaded by the Department of Agriculture. About 303 million pesos worth of agricultural projects were signed over the weekend by Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol and Agriculture Minister Muhammad Yacob for the construction of farm-to-market roads and solar-powered irrigation systems. This will also prioritize high-value crop development and livestock development. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, the local government of Negros Occidental promotes the province as the next tourism and investment destination. The Magnolia Hotshots takes the lead in the PBA Philippine Cup Finals. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Kasama natin ang Club MXI Philippines mula sa Valenzuela. Arnold, bakit kayo nandito sa Sitio Pulo? Anong ginagawa niyo?
Na-invite kami ulit para tumulong. So ito is part din ng parang gawain namin.
Sir, nabanggit niyo po kanina dun sa briefing na ginawa sa mga volunteers, na ang islang ito ay isa sa mga remnants ng mangrove stands ng Metro Manila.
Yeah, kasi tingnan mo yung history. Manila used to have a lot of mangroves, di ba? Maraming mangroves yan. At sabi nila, yung nilad ay marami noon sa Maynila. Kaya Manila, City of Manila got its name from the nilad.
Ano ba yung nilad?
Nilad is a mangrove. These mangroves present in Tanzania Nabotas are remnants of the old mangroves.
Okay. Sir, narinig ko po yung huni ng ibon. So, alam ko marami hong ibon dito, hindi po ba?
Marami, consistently mataas ang count dito ever since. And this area harbors yung tinatawag natin Chinese egret. Actually, it's a migratory Chinese egret galing pang China. Pero consistently nandito na sila ever since. So, yun ang high-risk species dito. It is a vulnerable species.
Okay.
Okay.
Binilang ba natin ang mga ibon dito, sir?
Yes, nung 2017, this area yielded more than 12,000 heads.
12,000
Account.
birds.
At one time.
Wow.
That's the Asian Waterbird Census that we
At
conducted.
ito na ang pinakamaraming ibon
Sa Metro Manila.
sa buong Metro Manila. Mga kababayan, narapat po lamang na alagaan natin ang ating kapaligiran dahil kung hindi po maayos at hindi maging sustainable ang ating environment ay hindi po magiging sustainable ang buhay. Kasama po ang pag-aalaga ng buhay sa ilalim ng tubig, ang global goals ng United Nations, which is SDG number 14. Kaya nararapat po na makilahok at ma-involve tayong lahat dito para po ito sa ating kinabukasan at sa kinabukasan ng ating mga anak. Para po sa Philippine Information Agency, ako po si Harold Clavite.
The man who reveals himself as Bicoy surfaced today and is seeking for legal aid as he allegedly receives a threat to his own life. What are your thoughts on these? Let us find out in our Boses ng Masa.
Paninira lang kasi ko baka gusto na niya talagang maanuhan niya si President. Makausap niya kung talagang harapin niya, kung talagang totoo yung mga sinasabi niya.
Kung totoo talaga yung sinasabi niya, dapat magbigay siya ng proof or evidence at saka kumbaga harapin niya yung consequences kung halimbawang nagsisinungaling siya. Tsaka katingin ko naman mga Duterte, hindi naman, at saka sila kung sino yung mga involved, hindi ako naniniwala yun para sa akin. Kasi mas marami sila nagagawa sa bansa kaysa sa mga paninira.
Sabihin niya na kung para saan yung ginawa niyong video, anong purpose niya. Bakit niya yun nilabas? Yun lang.
Wala akong pakialam sa kanya kasi talaga eh. Actually, kasi kahit anong gawin nyo naman paninira na kay Duterte, wala na rin naman kayo magagawa. Ayun lang.
Negros Occidental is seen as the next tourism and investment destination in the country. The province has gained boost, particularly in tourism and investment, at the recently concluded Regional Australia-Asia Chambers Forum in Darwin City, Northern Territory, Australia, on May 2 and 3. Governor Alfredo Marañon Jr., who led the province's delegation, shared the successful engagement of Negros Occidental with the Northern Territory government. He discussed the attractiveness of Negros Occidental as a tourism and investment site. He said one of the province's key exports is their highly trainable skilled labor. Meanwhile, Provincial Supervising Tourism Operations Officer Christine Mancinares, who was part of the delegation, said the province hopes to expand its scope of potential partnership from employment and migration to education, agriculture, trade, and investment. The two-day forum was hosted by the Chamber of Commerce Northern Territory, aimed at discussing key issues facing the growth of business in the region. In our foreign news, Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako of Japan make their first public appearance after ascending to the throne on Saturday. The emperor faced a flag-waving crowd of tens of thousands at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. In his first public speech, Emperor Naruhito urged Japan to work together for world peace with other countries and vowed to emulate his father, Emperor Emeritus Akihito, as he fulfills his duty. He also wished for everyone's health and happiness. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe extended his congratulations to the new emperor. The royal family made a total of 6 appearances throughout the day. More elaborate festivities are planned for October 22, when the emperor and empress will parade through the streets of Tokyo and meet a host of world leaders and royals. The United Nations support mission in Libya has called for a humanitarian truce starting today. Around 400 people have been killed since General Khalifa Haftar launched an offensive against the UN-backed government. The UN said the extendable one-week humanitarian truce starts at 4 in the morning of the first day of Ramadan, May 6. All parties were told to halt forms of military operations, allow the delivery of humanitarian aid, and ensure the freedom of movement for civilians during this truce. In sports, the Magnolia Pambansang Manok is taking the lead in the PBA Philippine Cup Finals with 2 wins over powerhouse San Miguel Beer. The Hotshots tripped Beermen 86-82 on Sunday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum to avenge their 101-108 defeat in Game 2. The Beermen took the first quarter, but the Hotshots countered with tough defense to keep them from scoring. Mark Baroka put in a personal title series high of 22 points, while Ian Sangalang came through with a double-double of 17 points and 15 rebounds. Rafi Rivas chalked up 16 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 steals. Arwin Santos paced the Beermen with 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Lucban, Quezon is home to the famous Pahiyas Festival, where you can see a grand display of colorful rice wafers, fruits, vegetables, and handicrafts in every house. More on this from Janet Scave.
It's the time of the year when most parts of the country celebrate their own fiesta. In Quezon Province, the Pahiyas of Lucban, held every May 15, is the festival to end all festivals. Residents adorn the facade of their homes with a fresh harvest of fruits and vegetables. They also make pretty and colorful lanterns out of kiping, or a leaf-shaped wafer made from rice dough. The intricately adorned houses are an instant hit for tourists who brave the heat and the crowded streets to take pictures of their surroundings. Pahiyas Festival is held in thanksgiving to their patron saint San Isidro Labrador for their bountiful harvest. Aside from the colorful decorations, Pahiyas Festival also offers good food and a glimpse of the town's culture. Lucban is famous for its pancit habhab. Habhab refers on how it should be eaten. The noodles are placed on a rectangular cut banana leaf and you must eat it using only your mouth. There's also the hardinera or oval-shaped embutido and the famous Lucban longanisa. For dessert, they have pilipit, which is a deep-fried twisted pastry coated in sugar or syrup. The highlight of the festival is the Grand Parade, whose route is changed every year to give all residents a chance to take part in the celebration. The Pahiyas Festival is one huge and colorful party that will surely be a memorable experience for everyone. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories.
A man claiming to be the face of the Bicoy videos appears to prove his allegations against President Duterte. A magnitude 5.4 quake rocks Pagudpod, Ilocos Norte, and neighboring towns. The MMDA suspends the dry run of the ban on provincial buses in EDSA. And the Magnolia Hotshots take the lead in the PBA Philippine Cup Finals.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags on all our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Rom Dulfo. Good day.